SNAP is an online interactive tool which we will be using in Health 324. The tool allows students to build their knowledge of Excel and their skills with tasks that are required for each section of the course. SNAP provides feedback and guidance on completion of the tasks within Excel, and the level of guidance and assistance decreases as the student moves forward, gradually building their competence level for each skill and their confidence in the ability to perform tasks. Let's take a look at the tool. This is the student view of the SNAP tool. You can see that it's divided up into a number of sections, including ebooks, the training on each chapter, and a number of assessment options. As the instructor, I have the ability to create my own assessments or modify existing ones. You can see that there are quite a few assessments included here in this view, and in an actual class, I would only publish out to the student those assessments which I wanted them to complete, so they would not see this entire list. This section of my toolbox relates to formative assessment provided to the student as they develop skills in Excel. In order to show this, I'm going to go into the training session for Chapter 1, Lesson 1. On the left-hand side, the student sees a number of tutorials. Each of these tutorials relates to a specific task that the student must complete. For each tutorial, you will see that there is a guide and a practice session listed. The guide will walk the students step by step through the task they need to accomplish, providing audio and visual instruction and feedback. When the students move into the practice, they're expected to work more independently. Students are asked to complete a task, but not provided with the step-by-step instructions at the start. Those instructions and support are still available to them if they need it, and subsequent activities such as exercises and labs further decrease the amount of support provided to the student and increase the expectation of independent work. Let's take a look at what this looks like for a student, and I'm going to start off with the guide.
Opening a blank workbook.
Getting started with guide. Follow the numbered steps to complete the tasks. Click the Show Me button for help completing the steps.
When students come into the guide, they are given information about the task rather than having to read it in a textbook, and also provided with step-by-step instructions of what needs to be done.
Open a blank workbook by opening Excel and using the blank workbook template. New workbooks will have the file name book1.xlsx by default. Open Excel from the Windows 10 desktop. Create a blank workbook. 1. Click the Start button.
At this point, students will be given step-by-step instructions on what needs to be done to complete the task overall. On the left-hand side, there will be a prompt as to what needs to be accomplished, and this section for the guide will also list the step-by-step instructions. The Show Me button provides additional assistance, and we'll look at that in a moment as we walk through the steps. On the right-hand side, it gives an indication of the number of steps the students needs to accomplish to complete the task as a whole. When we look at the practice, in this section you will see that it lists the number of attempts. In this first run through with the guide, student has unlimited attempts to get the task correct. So we'll start off by clicking on the Windows button as indicated in the guide. And after receiving the next instruction following it, I will make a mistake and click Word 2016 instead of Excel 2016.
2. Click the Excel 2016 tile.
Click the Show Me button.
The student gets immediate formative feedback that indicates there's been a problem with what they've done. It also allows the student to use the Show Me button, which will provide focused information on what the student needs to do by graying out the screen so that the focus is where they need to be working, and by providing audio and video support.
Open Excel from the Start menu by clicking the Excel 2016 tile.
As you can see, this makes it very apparent to the student what needs to be done. At this point, the student can turn off the Show Me if they want to continue working more independently, or continue with its assistance if it's needed. In this case, I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to go ahead and complete the task by clicking on Excel 2016.
3. Click the blank workbook template.
And then clicking on the blank workbook.
Congratulations! You have successfully completed the guide. Now, practice and develop mastery of this skill by clicking the Practice button.
As you can see, the student gets immediate support and feedback as they complete the task, and it indicates they've been successful and then prompts them to continue developing their skills by moving to the practice session. Let's take a look at what the practice section includes.
Opening a blank workbook.
Getting started with practice. Complete the task at the top of the screen. You have 3 attempts to complete each step. Click the Steps button to view all of the steps. Click the Show Me button for help completing the steps.
When the student moves into practice, they're given information on the task that they need to complete, but not the step-by-step instructions to start off. Support is still there if the student needs it through the Show Me button, and students are encouraged to be more independent in this section.
Open Excel from the Windows 10 desktop. Create a blank document.
I'll start off by clicking the Windows button at the bottom left corner as I did last time. And as I do, you'll see that I am not getting the step-by-step prompts as I did in the guide. However, if I make a mistake, there's still support for me. So in this case, I will again click Word 2016 instead of Excel.
Incorrect. Click the Show Me button.
And I will get immediate feedback that tells me I've made a mistake. This allows a correction to be made by the student at the point where there's the issue, rather than getting it to the end of the series of steps and realizing there was a mistake. The student can then use whichever method of support they feel they need. In this case, I'll click on the steps.
1. Click the Start button. 2. Click the Excel 2016 tile. 3. Click the blank workbook template.
So clicking on the steps provides the exact series of steps that need to be done to complete the task. The Show Me button is still there if a student needs additional assistance. And you will see that it does keep track. In this case, there is not unlimited attempts to get each step right, but you get 3 attempts at each step. So I will continue on and click Excel. And again, I'm not being prompted auditorily. It's expecting me to work more independently. And in this case, I will open the blank workbook.
Congratulations! You have successfully completed the practice.
Again, the student is provided with immediate feedback that indicates they have completed the task successfully. This gives encouragement to the student and lets them build confidence that they can successfully complete these tasks. As students move on to other activities, which include summative assessment, at each step along the way, they're encouraged to further develop their skills, to increase the complexity of tasks, and to work more independently and confidently. Thanks for taking a look at how formative assessment will be delivered using the SNAP tool.